Namaskaram, this is Rohit Apudia from Vishwakarma Sankul Solapur, and today I'm going to connect to you with an incident of my terrace farming, and the incidents that made me laugh as well as it made me angry. Now why it is so, we will see as the video progresses. The incidents happened is we went to fix up the bamboo for putting up the shade, and then suddenly I saw that there are so many flowers of the cucumber veil, what we call, and I just plucked them all. And I brought them to decorate my Krishna's Murti at my home, Laddu Gopal. So when I came, it was just about sunset, and we had the evening puja at home. And after the puja, my grandma told, "What happened? How did you pluck up these flowers? These are of cucumber, and there were two of the bitter gourd also." So she recognized the flowers and she asked me, how did I pluck and why did I pluck? I said I brought it for the Shringar, that is for decoration of the and for the worship of Lord Krishna. So she said, in our vernacular language, you can say, or our mother tongue, that is Marwari, she said, "Are you gone mad? Why did you pluck up the flowers?" I said, "What happened?" "Flowers in the sense you have lost the fruit," she said. I did not catch it. She said, "Flowers you plucked, it means you have lost the fruit." Again, I did not catch it. Then I said, "How come this?" And I started thinking. Then she said, "You get the fruit from the flower only." I started thinking how it is possible, how it is happening. And then I recalled suddenly that when we had the lady's finger coming up in our terrace garden. So what happened? The flower on that lady's finger, on that plant, just below the flower, the lady's finger started coming. So suppose if this is the lady's finger, this is the base from where we pluck it, and this is the pointed end. So here is actually the flower. Okay, and then this flower gets off. Okay, it gets wilt, and then this lady's finger starts growing. I'll show you the photographs also. You can see on the screen. So you see this, the lady's finger is growing next to the wilting of the flower. So I started saying to my grandma, "Oh, it's like the lady's finger. It's like the lady's finger plant, that the flower is wilting and then the fruit comes. That is, here is the vegetable. So it is like the lady's finger." She said, "If it is applicable to lady's finger, then it has to be applicable to all other plants." Then I started thinking, how come this is possible? And later on, it enlightened my mind. And देर की ट्यूबलाइट जल्दी से नहीं जगी और फिर प्रॉब्लम ये हो गया. Then I recalled that what we learnt in 10th standard and 12th standard, double fertilization of plants. So the double fertilization process that we are learning from ages as a student, ages in the sense 10th standard we had it in a brief format, and 12th standard as biology students we had it in detail. So if you see the double fertilization process, what happens is on the flower you have the stigma, and the pollen grain comes and sticks on it, and then it forms a pollen tube, and the two pollen particles, they go inside the ovary through the pollen tube, and there all the structures in the ovary are haploid, as you know, because it's a gamete, and then the male gamete that is inside the pollen grain, that goes into the ovary, and then it couples with the female gamete, and it becomes 2N, that is zygote. And with the bipolar nuclei, the another gamete of the male, it goes and fuses to form an endosperm triploid, and then it is growing as a fruit. Okay, it's growing as a fruit. So here the modification, post-development modification, is that the zygote becomes the seed, and the whole ovary, that becomes what? It becomes the fruit. Now here in this case of lady's finger, or as we're talking about the cucumber or the bitter gourd. So if you see, the fruit here is nothing but that vegetable. So this procedure is there. Now I learned it in 10th standard, 12th standard, like me so many students learn. But if I'm not able to recall, and if I'm not able to apply it, likewise in my terrace gardening, that this flower is going to give the form of fruit later on, then how it is going to help me? So basically, and on the other part, if you see that my grandma, probably she did not learn all these kinds of details, but she had done gardening at her home when she was small. So the reason I am making this video, first thing is, people like me and you who are learned can be fooled like this by their own, okay, by not applying the knowledge at the right place. Otherwise you're just mugging up the textbooks. There's no use. It has to be practical oriented, it has to be practice oriented. Now on the other part, contrary to it, is my grandma just did it hands on. She did it in the garden, and she remembers it, she applies it. So more emphasis has to be on practical education, whatever you do. Just reading the books, getting good marks and going, array no, you get more than 90%, you are going to get a good college. You get more than 95%, you get selected in the first list of the college in 10th standard. For 12th standard, there are number of entrance exams you have to crack, irrespective of what is the portion, what is the format and why you are studying. That all remains aside. Just you have to score good. This cannot be the central idea and central funda of education. It has to change, and what government has brought now as the government education policy, new education policy NEP 2020, we have to apply it all over the schools, all over the places. And I feel very happy to announce that as B²GT, we have started one of our projects, School on Wheels. That is Sakanvarchi Shala in Marathi, you can say. So basically, the people who cannot afford education, who are like you and me, small children, even smaller than us, school going kids, they are selling vegetables, they are selling flowers, and it disheartens me seeing them like this. So who is responsible? We are responsible for them, and we have to do something for them. And so as a responsibility, we have taken a step forward, looking forward for all of your support and guidance there. Thank you.